processor because threads are independent and you can perform multiple operations at the same time. You can perform many operations together, so it saves time. Threads are independent, so it does not affect other threads if an exception occurs in a single thread. Multitasking. Multitasking is a process of executing multiple tasks simultaneously. We use multitasking to utilize the CPU. Multitasking can be achieved in two ways: process-based multitasking, thread-based multitasking. First of all, we see about process-based multitasking. Each process has an address in memory. In other words, each process allocates a separate memory area. A process is heavyweight. Cost of communication between the processes is high. Switching from one process to another requires some time for saving and loading registers, memory maps, updating lists, etc. Thread-based multitasking. Threads share the same address spaces, yet thread is lightweight. Cost of communication between the thread is low. What is thread? Thread is lightweight subprocess, the smallest unit of processing. It is a separate path of execution. Threads are independent. If there occurs exception in one thread, it does not affect other threads. It uses a shared memory area. Life cycle of the thread. A thread can be in one of the 5 states. According to Sun, there is only 4 states. Thread life cycle in Java: new, runnable, non-runnable, and terminated. There is no running state, but for better understand threads, we explain in the 5 states: new, runnable, running, non-runnable, blocked, and terminated. So these are the states available in the exceptions. New. A thread is new state if you create an instant thread class, but before the invocation of start method. Runnable. The thread is runnable state after invoking of start of method, but the thread scheduler does not schedule it to be running thread. Running. The thread is in running state if the thread scheduler has scheduled it. Non-runnable. This is the state when the thread is still alive but is currently not eligible to run. Terminate. A thread is in terminated or dead state when its run-off method is exist. How to create thread? There are two ways to create thread: by extending thread class, by implementing runnable interface. Thread class. Thread class provides constructors and methods to create and perform operations and thread. The thread class extends object classes and implement runnable interface. These are the commonly used constructors: thread, thread string name, thread runnable, and string name. Runnable interface. The runnable interface should be implemented by any classes whose instances are intended to be executed by thread. Runnable interfaces have only one method named runoff. Thread scheduler in Java. Thread scheduler in Java is the part of the JVM that decides which thread should run. There is no guarantee that which runnable thread will be chosen to run by the thread scheduler. Only one thread at a time can run in a single process. Sleep method in Java. The sleep off method of thread class is used to sleep a thread for the specified amount of time. Syntax of sleep off method is given below. Each thread starts in a separate call stack, invoking the runoff method from main thread. The runoff method goes on to the current call stack rather than the beginning of the new call stack. This is a syntax for joining of method waits for the thread to die. In other words, it causes the currently running thread to stop executing until the thread it join with complete its task. The simple examples for the threads. The simple example for using get name of set name, the value is string, and get id method of naming thread and current threads. Naming thread. The thread class provides methods to change and get the name of a thread. By default, each thread has a name, that is thread 0, thread 1, and so on. But we can change the name of the thread by using a set name of method. The syntax of set